Hey guys, it's Dave, your mortgage guy.com. As you can see in the news a lot is the Fed meeting, how that's affecting rates. We just had a Fed meeting the middle of March, and that greatly affected rates, okay? So I wanted to go over the meetings for the rest of 2022 by the Fed and what to expect with it impacting rates. But before I get to that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up with more content like this and to keep up with anything in the mortgage industry. So we've got 6 more meetings by the Fed through the end of 2022. And I'm gonna put the list down below just so it's easier for you to keep track of. But we've got, around May 3rd, 4th, June 14th, 15th, July 26th, 27th, September 20th, 21st, November 1st, 2nd, and December 13th, 14th, okay? Now, as you saw with the last meeting, that greatly affected rates. Let me explain kind of how all this works. Number one is if the Fed comes out and says they're increasing rates by 0.25%, that does not automatically mean mortgage interest rates are going up 0.25%, okay? They're not completely attached to each other, but the Fed announcement does influence rates, okay? Mortgage rates actually follow the 10-year Treasury bond. So as those rates go up and down, that affects rates. Or lenders can choose to worsen or improve rates depending on how they need to affect their business. So like if they're slammed with business, they may increase rates to kind of slow it down, or vice versa, okay? Although you don't see that too often. If you do, it's usually a larger bank trying to get more of a market share at the moment of a certain type of loan, like maybe a jumbo loan mortgage, right? If they want more jumbo loan mortgages, maybe they'll give up or give a lower interest rate to kind of entice that business in. Now, going into these Fed meetings, here's what you need to know if you're home shopping, if you're thinking about locking a rate, and how this impacts rates, okay? The mortgage industry as a whole will usually kind of predict what they think the Fed is gonna say or do a day or two in advance of the meeting. So if the meeting is on Wednesday, then on Monday, the mortgage industry as a whole is gonna assume, okay, they're gonna worsen rates, they're gonna improve rates, and then they're gonna compensate for that. So many times throughout my career, when the Fed meets and they make an announcement, mortgage rates don't do anything because the industry had predicted that in advance of that, okay? Now, the last one, this was not true because the one that was in the middle of March 2022, they really came out and were very hawkish, very aggressive about how they were going to increase rates. This terminology really made the mortgage industry nervous, probably, that they were being that aggressive. And you saw mortgage rates worsen that day after the meeting, right? And after the announcement, because it was more aggressive than what the mortgage industry thought they were going to do, okay? So you need to know these dates if you're building a new construction home, okay? And you know it's going to be finished around some time of these dates, okay? Or a month out from when it's going to be finished is around those dates, because that's when maybe you would want to lock your rate in, when the home is going to be finished. And in general, as somebody who's in the market and it's getting harder to get maybe your offer accepted, so you're home shopping longer, you want to keep these dates in mind so you know how it could affect interest rates, be kind of ahead of the curve, okay? And honestly, if it was me and I have the choice of locking in a rate, let's say the week prior to these Fed announcements, unless something out there really implies that the Fed is going to loosen and cut back on these aggressive rate hikes that they're assuming are probably going to be about 0.25% almost every time they're meeting is the way it seems, I would lock in advance of that knowing what's coming, all right? That's another great piece of advice. So really more now than ever in my career as a consumer and as a mortgage lender, you're gonna want to monitor these Fed meetings, right? And we've always monitored them, knew they were coming, but really they didn't affect rates nearly as much as they are currently. And so everybody's on the watch for this. I wanted to give you this information so you're more educated, prepared going into this, okay? I'm going to, again, post the meeting dates below so you can keep track of that. And again, keep this in mind if you're going to be locking a rate around that period of those meetings, okay? Hope you found that information helpful. Call or email me, comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you find my videos helpful, I'd love to be your lender. Thanks, guys.